This is KARK 4 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. The old saying, you are what you eat, can be true for oral health as well. Some foods obviously hazardous to teeth, but some are not so obvious. Dr. Brian Dunlap of Dunlap Dental is here with 8 examples and tips on preserving healthy teeth. Thanks for joining us today, Dr. Dunlap.
I appreciate you guys having me once again.
Let's start with some of these products. Of course, we know some are just really bad, but some that we think maybe not too bad for our teeth can be.
Right. Well, I guess if you're going to start on things that you might not think that are bad would be some citrus fruits. Now, obviously, it's like everything else in life, guys. Moderation. Moderation. We obviously want you to be eating fruits, but citrus fruits, if some people really eat a lot of lemons, or they eat a whole lot of oranges or citrus, or maybe some of these fad grapefruit diets that went out a little while ago, so much citrus, overload of citrus, can really wear away the enamel of the teeth, all that acid. So that can be problematic if you're overdoing it.
Okay, what about coffee? I know that coffee can stain teeth over time, but boy, it sure helps wake me up in the morning.
Right. Well, coffee is not necessarily real bad for your teeth unless you're putting a lot of sugar in it.
Okay.
So the sugar and even the cream has sugar in it. Sorry.
I know. Our whole crew,
the whole crew just went,
oh, here at the station.
Well, listen, and we understand that, but and like everything else too, if you're brushing regularly too, that's not gonna hurt. But when you have coffee, and the liquids are the worst, like these Cokes over here, guys, literally the worst of all of the things on here. If I had to say anything, it's soft drinks, sugar, because it's just like sugar flowing through every surface of your teeth. And that's probably, my patients that I have the most problems with decay are the ones that are telling me they're drinking 6 Cokes a day.
Okay, so Cokes. What about this Gatorade? A lot of high school athletes are drinking this Gatorade after practice. We think that we're getting hydrated through it, but is this bad as well?
I think that's okay, like after practice, but people who are drinking lots of Gatorades a day, again, you can get trouble. I think the rule of thumb we're going to find here is moderation. But, after practice or something like that, not going to be a huge problem. But boy, if you're drinking a whole lot of Gatorade, especially the stuff with all the sugar in it, it's not much better than the sodas. And, believe it or not, apple juice, orange juice, things like that, if you're drinking a ton of it, just full of sugar. So water is always the best, as far as after practice, if you can do that. But, again, I'm not saying never drink Gatorade or never have a Coke, but just be smart about it. And if you're drinking them all day long, like I have a lot of patients that are at work, and they say at work all day, it's Cokes, Mountain Dew, just so much sugar in your teeth. So that's probably the worst of all of them.
Can it be reversed if you come in and say, I've been drinking 2 or 3 Cokes a day, and you just have a lot of problems with your teeth? Can all of those problems be reversed if we quit? Of course.
If it creates some issues, you might need to get some fillings done and get some cavities taken care of in your mouth. And then the most important thing is just, try to change your habits. And I think, all of us are always having to change habits as we get older. You're trying to lose weight. That's another thing that doesn't hurt, because all this sugar too is going to be a problem there. So, once you get cleaned up and then you change some habits, absolutely, it can turn around. And especially too with the stuff like the citrus or some of these other things, keeping the enamel on your teeth healthy too, over the long haul. That's really big. So. Oh,
Dr. Dunlap, Brian Dunlap from Dunlap Dental, go see him. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will. Everything in moderation, a good motto.